Let's imagine that you had me write down a list of 5 flies, and those were the only flies that I could use the rest of my life. The Frenchie is definitely on that list. The color combo that we're tying today was designed by Fly Fishing Team USA member and bronze medalist Lance Egan. The dude is a fish catching machine, so any pattern that he recommends using, I'm probably gonna use it. To tie this fly, you'll need a standard nymph hook and tungsten bead in copper. Today I'm using a size 14 hook and a 1/8 inch bead. You'll also need some 72 denier thread in red. If you want to go down the less expensive route, you can use some brown mayfly tails. Or if you're really getting into tying, you could invest in some coq de leon feathers. You'll also need a pheasant tail, some small copper wire, and some UV ice dub in shrimp pink. All right, gather up your materials. Let's get tying. All right, first things first, let's get the bead on our hook and the hook secured in our vise. Now we'll attach our thread using a jam knot. This is done by wrapping a few times forward and then back on top of itself. Then we'll grab our good tying scissors and snip the excess thread. With the thread secure, we'll dress our hook with a nice even thread base back to just before the bend of the hook. Alright, now we'll give our Frenchie its tail, so grab your mayfly tails or coq de leon saddle or whatever tailing materials you've got laying around and pluck off 4 to 6 fibers. Take a loose wrap or 2 over the top and then make any needed adjustments. First, make sure that it's sitting directly on top of the hook, and next get it to your ideal length. Personally, I like my tails a little bit shorter, so for this one I'm going a little less than a hook shank in length. That tail looks pretty good, so we'll lock it into place by wrapping back up to the bead. Then snip off the excess fibers. Now it's time to add our small copper wire. Grab your spool and snip off about a 2-inch piece. Get it onto the hook with a few loose wraps. Then slide the wire into place just behind the bead. Let's work our way back down to our tail, securing that wire to the hook. We're going to use some pheasant tail fibers to create our body, so grab a good quality feather, pluck off a few fibers, maybe 4 or 5, and trim the curlies. The side that we trimmed will be the side that we attach to the fly. We'll attach it to the back of our thread base using some tight wraps. Then we'll take our thread back up to the front of the fly. Because I want to use the rotary function on my vise, I'm going to do a 1-turn whip finish, locking the thread into place. Then hang up my thread on the bobbin cradle. Grabbing the feather with my right hand, I'm going to rotate the vise with my left, making tight touching wraps all the way up the fly. If you don't have a rotary vise, you can do this the old-fashioned way by hand. I usually do this as far as I can or until the pheasant tail fibers are about to slip out of my fingertips. Then I'll grab the fibers with my left hand, let down the thread, swing the cradle out of the way, grab the fibers again with my right hand, then go up and over with my thread 3 or 4 times. This is going to secure those fibers in place. Now we'll take some tight wraps and snip off the excess fibers. Pheasant tail fibers aren't super durable. One meeting with a sharp trout tooth and it's goodbye to all your hard work. So to make our Frenchie more durable, we're going to take the wire that we attached previously and counter wrap it, meaning wrap it in the opposite direction we did the pheasant tail. Then we'll make thread wraps on both sides and helicopter free. Time to add our shrimp pink UV ice dub. We'll make a 1 to 2 inch dubbing noodle. When applying dubbing, remember it's always better to start with less than you think you need. It's super easy to get carried away, especially with the ice dub. Now we'll wrap it around our fly, creating a nice brightly colored thorax. We'll create our hotspot on our Frenchie by taking several thread wraps with our red thread. Then finish it off with a 4 to 5 turn whip finish. Now we'll snip the thread, and our Frenchie is ready to put some fish in the net. If you enjoyed this tutorial and found it easy to follow, be sure to check out all of our other tutorials here. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on all of our weekly tips. Thanks for watching, and live real life.